Alright, what up guys? It's a beautiful morning in Singapore today. So I think in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit more sensitive also. Maybe it's not so much sensitive, maybe it's just more personal to me. So today's video I'm going to be talking about why I got married at the age of 23 years old. And I think that's something that is very, I would say, less common. I would say it's less. Yeah, I would just say it's less common, right? It's not unusual. It's just less common, right? Up until the point, if let's say you diao kia or something, right? Like you have a shotgun marriage, right? And in specifically in my case, I didn't have a shotgun marriage, right? Because we don't have a child even till now, and we don't have immediate plans to have one yet. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, great. So that being said, I think I'm going to be talking about three main reasons why I got married at the age of 23 years old, and whether you should too as well, right? So I think the first reason really is I actually looked at the living arrangements for myself and my girlfriend back then, who is now my wife. I think the living arrangements was that I kind of like was sharing a room with my brother at that point in time, and I was working on basically trying to actually start up my business. I was trying to make cold calls. I was trying to kind of get in that environment of getting things to work, and it was a very distracting environment for me because primarily because I think living with your parents, there are certain things that my parents at that point in time didn't allow. Like, let's say for example, I couldn't put the computer a certain way, I couldn't put the chair a certain way, I couldn't like eat food in the room or something like that. Like there were certain restrictions that I felt very controlled, and I felt very basically I just felt very controlled. Like, it's not my home at all. Yeah, so I couldn't exercise any decisions that I wanted to. I just felt very cooped up and very controlled. And since young, I think like I have always felt that way, and I think I have always wanted to move out as a result of that. So we are still on reason number one, right? Okay, which is the living arrangements. And then couple that with my wife, with my then girlfriend at the point in time, there was I think about maybe 7 or 8 people, or maybe 9 people living in like a 2-bedroom flat, right? So we both kind of saw that as like a huge opportunity, or not opportunity, but more like a hindrance, right, towards our living arrangements. And we felt that, hey, we could really use a flat of our own, right? We could really get a BTO slash sale of balance flat, or whatever you want to call it, from HDB, and then basically move it, right? So after my national service, I saw that as a huge opportunity to basically go ahead and apply for a flat. And I recall very clearly, after the first try, we didn't get the flat, right? We basically got rejected. And then on the second try, which I think we did a sale of balance flat, we finally got it. Okay, and then I recall the queue number was like 27 out of like 54. And then the interesting thing is also, 27, queue number 27 out of 54, we actually went down to select the flat, and it was a pretty decent unit, right? It was level 12 as well. And the price was not terrible, right? Because after after accounting for the grant was about $70,000, because at that point in time I was a student, and I think we declared our total combined gross household income as about $2,200, which means we got Akong's money for $70,000, and that was a lot of money, right? Because like I recall we live in a 3-room flat, so the 3-room flat, the purchase price was 220,000. 220,000 minus 70,000 is like 150k. Can you imagine 150k for a flat? It's a pretty damn good deal. And then if we amortize that by 25 years, it's $690 in monthly repayment. Like, where out there can you pay $690 per month for a 3-bedroom flat? For a 3-room flat, you can't. It's the whole home, right? You just can't. So it's a pretty damn solid, pretty damn good deal. And then after working out the finances and everything, yeah, that's when we realized it's a pretty good deal. Okay, so that's the living arrangements. Okay, I've realized I skipped a lot. Okay, so on to the second reason. So the second reason is, yeah, okay, as I mentioned earlier, which is we saw the flat as a good financial asset. Okay, or rather, I saw it as a good financial asset, and I obviously relate this information to my wife, who was my girlfriend back then. That hey, if we were to buy the flat early, okay, and we just basically let it marinate there and sit there for 5 years, we can sell it at a healthy profit. Okay, so today, okay, this is 2023, okay, October 2023, 1st October 2023, right, is if you were to basically sell the flat, right, you will be able to fetch anywhere between 450,000 all the way to $480,000. Okay, 450k to 480k. So it's basically like a 3 times return on investment, right? It's a pretty damn good deal, right? For like, I don't do anything about it. You know, all I do is I just buy the flat, okay, renovate the flat and live in it for 5 years, right? I get a place of my own to stay, and hey, getting paid like $300,000 for basically doing nothing much is a pretty good deal. Of course, I haven't accounted for the interest rates and all that kind of things, but those are negligible, right? The stamp duty, whatever. Like even after you account for everything, like I'm still making a good healthy 250k, right, or more. So yeah, I think I saw that as an opportunity at the age of 23 years old. Like, while everyone is like scrambling and like trying to figure out their studies and stuff, like I was caring more about things that would bring me long-term financial growth, and also at the same time I saw that as according to reason number one was that I could move out, I could really kind of be able to live a life that I want to live on my own. I could have the privacy that I wanted, I could have the quietness that I wanted, I could basically kickstart my business, I could cold call until the end of time until I'm happy, right? Because at the end of the day, like I think if you dislike the environment that you're in, just move, right? Like nobody's there to stop you, right? That's to me what I feel, right? Like if you feel that you are in an environment that you don't like for instance, if you find that Singapore is too hot, you want to move to a place that's colder, yeah, do it, right? You feel that the opportunities here are lacking and you want to go to another country for more opportunities, do it, right? Nobody's stopping you, right? The same goes for your job as well. If you feel like you're stuck at a job and you're not earning the money you want to make, and you're not getting the kind of enjoyment that you have, then go to another job, right? Stop complaining about it and do something about it. Like to me, that's the way I feel. Okay, sorry for the rant. So that's reason number two. I saw that as a financial asset, and I basically wanted to use it as an instrument to accumulate wealth. Okay, and it did happen. Okay, so on to reason number three. Okay, so the last reason why I decided to get married at the age of 20. Oh, sorry, to link back to it. Yeah, so to link back everything, right, is the flat and the marriage, right? So the one thing is like you have to actually be married to get the flat in Singapore. Okay, and I think most people would be aware, most Singaporeans would be aware, but just in case you're not, you have to be married, okay, in order to actually get the flat in Singapore. Okay, so the last reason, right, really stems from the fact that I kind of know what I wanted, in the sense that at a point in time I was 23 years old. I kind of so my girlfriend back then, who is now my wife, right, obviously, is actually my first girlfriend. So I never actually had any past like legit real relationships whereby let's just say the real full-fledged serious relationships. Okay, like I have not had any of those. Okay, and my current wife, who is my kind of like my only first girlfriend and last girlfriend, kind of gave me the conviction to say that, hey, I kind of know who I want to be with, and settle down with, and I just basically committed. So I think the moment I committed, I didn't want to look back and kind of like, hey, are there any better options out there? Are there any better fishes out there, and all that kind of things. Like, I feel that once you commit, man. You go all the way. You shouldn't be like thinking if there are better opportunities out there in terms of your partner, right? Your partner selection. So I feel combined with all these factors, the first one being I didn't really like the living arrangements that I had at home, and I wanted to get married and move out. And then second was I saw the flat as a financial asset. And then the third reason being, like, at the end of the day, I kind of know who I wanted to settle down with, and then settle down I did. And surprisingly, not surprisingly, but I guess it worked out really well, because I'm very happy with my marriage. There have been ups and downs, there have been fights, there have been struggles, there have been obstacles, but I feel that's natural, right? That's natural for every marriage. And so as a result of that, these are the three reasons why I decided to get married at the age of 23 years old. So my advice for you, if you are young, you are like maybe, I don't know, 18 years old or 25 years old or whatever, and then you're like thinking like, what the hell, like this guy just got married at the age of 23 years old, why would he do that? And I just share with you why, right? So like, if you're thinking like, should you do the same? Well, my answer is like, you really need to be very you really need to be very sure of what you want, right? And that's something that I think a lot of people, they are struggling with. They don't even know what they're gonna eat for breakfast tomorrow, right? Let alone knowing who they want to settle down with for the rest of their lives. So I think to answer this question of knowing what you want, you really have to understand yourself a lot better. You have to ask yourself a lot of questions, and you have to date enough, right? Don't do what I did. Like, realistically, you shouldn't be like settling on the first girlfriend. But for me, I guess I'm less lucky. Okay, like, I felt that it's just a good fit, and I committed. Okay, like I liked her at that point in time. I love her. I mean, and then it just worked out really well, because at the end of the day, like our personality types, I felt matched, and also she kind of knew, or rather my wife kind of knew the kind of person that I am, and I knew the kind of person that she was, and everything kind of clicked. And as a result, after 5 years, we just felt that it's an opportune time for us to get married. And it's also we were together since 18, right, until 23. So yeah, I think that's it. So I'm not sure if you guys kind of enjoy these kind of videos whereby, like, I'm actually driving to meet a friend now, and then I figured that it's a good use of my time to basically make a video documenting my life's journey. Okay, and I understand that the production quality is not like super high quality, like movie production style or anything, but at the end of the day, it's natural and it's organic, right? So let me know if you like this kind of styles, or you prefer like me sitting down in my room, in my chair, and actually doing a very scripted version of it. But I prefer just being organic and natural and conversational about it, rather than making it super scripted and super high quality production and stuff. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys enjoy this kind of content, and what kind of other content you guys would want to watch, right? At the end of the day, I make all these videos more towards more catered for like business owners, entrepreneurs, people that want to improve their lives, people that want to kind of develop a better, stronger mindset as well. So I see that topics like this, like for example, like why do you get married at the age of 20 years old, as a form of inspiration, right? Like, for people that don't even know what they want to do in life, like, oh, like, hey, how did this guy figure it out, or what was his thought process, like, why did he think that way, why would he even consider, right, like doing such an unorthodox decision, right? And therefore, that's why I'm explaining all these things to you guys, and hopefully you're getting value out of it. If you're getting value out of it, comment below. If you're not getting value out of it, comment below as well, right? Say that this guy is ugly, and he's ranting on about shit that nobody cares about, right? Do it, right? That would be fantastic. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with a friend who's kind of like thinking whether he should get married, not get married, stay single for the rest of his life, live in his mom's basement or something. So yeah, be sure to share it with any friend that falls into